Welcome to this section on radiologic safety. I'm pleased to introduce this section about disaster planning in case of a radiologic emergency. If an emergency occurs, personnel at all levels of the hospital and the medical system will be involved. The best way to prepare for such a disaster is to learn ahead. And so this module is designed to teach some of the important facts that need to be known. I thank you for your participation, and I hope you have an enjoyable journey.
The first step in protecting yourself is understanding the risks from different radiologic agents. There are three kinds of radiologic agents: alpha emitters like uranium-238, beta emitters like iodine-131, and gamma emitters like cobalt-60. We'll now briefly go into the details of each type of agent. In general, alpha emitters can be blocked by even a single sheet of paper. Their danger comes from inhaling the particles. Beta emitters may be absorbed by clothing. Particles that have higher energy may penetrate through clothing, causing radiation damage. Gamma emitters are the most dangerous and energetic of all. They can easily penetrate through paper and clothing and even many metals. Only thick lead provides sufficient protection. The basic protective gear does not protect you from these particles, so you should consult with the safety officer for proper procedures. For personal protection, we use a lightweight protective suit made of Tyvek and a Class N100 respirator. These will protect you from alpha particles and some beta particles. These will not protect you from gamma particles. We measure the danger from radiation by using a Geiger counter. Now some tips for putting the gear on. Choosing the correctly sized mask is important because if it doesn't fit right, it won't work. You should have already been fit tested, but if you haven't, your department can arrange that for you. Adjust the straps so you have an airtight seal. When choosing a suit, it is sized over your clothes. It is important that the suit is loose enough for you to move freely, but not so loose that it could catch and tear on something. As you can see on the screen, these are the recommended sizes. The first step is to get together all the equipment that you will need. You can find these items in the disaster cabinets located within the hospital. You will need to get the keys from the emergency room or incident command team. Here's what the protective suit looks like. The suit zips up the front and has attached booties and a hood. To put on the respirator, you first attach the straps to the other side of the mask. The Geiger counter comes with an instruction card attached to the cord, explaining how to set up and operate the device. Now that you have all your equipment, the first step is to put the suit on over your clothes and shoes. Then, if available, put on the hood, and lastly, put the mask on over the hood. Now we'll learn how to set up and use the Geiger counter. The first step is to check the battery by turning the black knob on the top to the battery position. The needle will indicate the percentage of battery available. The second step is to check the detector. Remove the plastic cover from the detector. You will notice on the side behind the yellow door with the radiation symbol, there's a test radiation source. Move the detector towards the test pad. You should hear a beeping sound that gets progressively louder the closer it gets. Now we're going to briefly explain how to read the Geiger counter display. Geiger counters use a scaled meter display. You can change the scale by turning the same black knob you used for the battery check. Turning the knob changes the sensitivity. Each scale corresponds to a position on the knob. You will need a higher power of magnification for smaller readings and a lower power of magnification for higher readings. As we look at the Geiger counter, you'll notice that while the display changes based on the position of the black knob, the sound will not change. This is a safety feature to warn you of high levels of radiation. Now we'll cover how to safely examine a potentially contaminated patient. Just like universal precautions assumes the patient is infected, we assume the patient is contaminated until proven otherwise. Because of this, you will also wear gloves and will approach the patient with the detector extended in front of you. Wand the patient head to toe on both the front and back, looking for dangerous levels of radiation.